Thanks to the internet, the idea of an online business has gone from a pipe dream to a realistic goal. But there's one major reason why most millennials will fail to build a successful online business. Now, obviously, this doesn't just apply to millennials. There are older people that are going to have the same issues, and there's also younger people that are going to have the same issues. But there are thousands of millennial entrepreneurs who have the grit and determination to make it as business owners. As a business owner myself, I want to give you the best advice to help you succeed. And what I find really sad talking to other business owners is that there's a real negative view around millennials and young people starting businesses. And it sucks. I think it's awesome when young people have the drive and passion to start their own businesses. Good business owners aren't locked behind age. It comes from a desire to succeed. The good news is if you're a millennial running an online business or trying to start one and you've landed on this video, you're already ahead of the curve. And if you're here, it means you're aware of failure and taking steps to curb it wherever possible. So, let's take a look at some of the biggest reasons online businesses fail so you can end up the most successful business owner you can be. But before we even look into existing businesses and what causes them to fail, we need to head one thing off at the pass: managing expectations. I've seen firsthand that there's a whole new generation of young and optimistic entrepreneurs eager to start businesses online, who really benefit from their familiarity with the online space. But not everything you find online will help you run an online business. Ironically, one of the biggest issues is hustle culture. You might think young people learning how to run successful online businesses from other young people would be a huge advantage, and sometimes it is. But more often than not, it can completely skew realistic expectations. For example, when you see a millennial talking about their successful online business on platforms like YouTube and TikTok, it's really easy for that to blow out your expectations. But the reality is, on those platforms, you're really encouraged to show the best parts and none of the hardships. So when millennials are fed videos saying you can quit your job and make $6,000 a week from your bedroom running an online business, it's going to come as a pretty huge shock when there's a lot more hard work and ups and downs than online content would lead you to believe. I don't think that there's anything inherently wrong with content about running online businesses, but it has to be realistic. I've seen firsthand people invest a few $1,000s in savings that they have into an online business, thinking that that investment will multiply by itself. But the reality is, just like any other business, running an online business isn't easy. It takes a lot of time and effort, and you need to have realistic expectations going in. Otherwise, you're going to waste your time, energy, and most importantly, your money. Now, the first major point we're going to talk about today is a lack of experience. This is one of the hardest things for millennial business owners to deal with because there's no way to fast track business experience. Even if you've got a great support network and collaborate with other experienced business owners, there's no substitute for hands-on business experience. And in business, there's a bunch of things that can go wrong, from upset clients to litigation. You never know what's going to be thrown at you as a business owner. Now, you can have years of experience working alongside business owners and learning from mentors, but there are going to be situations where your goal, your plan, and your entire business might fail because you don't have the experience as a business owner. And that leads to the next reason why millennials fail at building successful online businesses, and that's comfort with failure. And this is actually really interesting because the idea of finding comfort in failure is pretty new, and it isn't necessarily all bad. Millennial and Zoomer culture has really embraced the idea that we're all a work in progress and that there's nothing inherently wrong with failing. And I think removing the stigma around failure is important. You know, you aren't worthless or beyond help if you fail. We all fail sometimes. That's a part of life. And the fact that millennials in particular are embracing the idea that failing isn't the end of the world is a positive thing. However, there are some risks in being comfortable with failure. You're not supposed to beat yourself up forever if you fail at something, but it is possible to be too comfortable with failure. One of the things that drives business owners I know is the fear of failure. They've got everything on the line. If their business fails, it's not just them, but their family and their assets. And as messed up as it sounds, that fear can be a great motivator to keep you going during periods of hardship. I've said it in the past, but hard times are make or break. Being able to persevere through hard times is a bellwether if you're going to make it as a business owner. But if you get too comfortable with failure and you don't tough it out when it counts, you're always going to struggle as a business owner. Another key issue that many millennials are going to have when building online businesses revolves around money and how willing and able they are to invest in their business. Now, if you're watching this video, I don't need to tell you that money doesn't grow on trees. If you want your online business to succeed, you need to be willing to invest in it, and you need to have the money to invest. Two things that most millennials will struggle with. Unless you've been a diligent saver through your teens and early 20s, chances are that you don't have the money to invest in your online business. Of course, there are actually ways around this, like finding investors or getting a loan, but ultimately you need to be willing to put your money into your online business, which is where a lot of people fail. Now, clearly this isn't unique to millennials. In fact, not being able to invest in your business is common throughout all walks of life, and I've seen it myself. But a lot of millennials are going to struggle with access to loans or the ability to find investors willing to bankroll their online businesses. So if you're a millennial out there trying to start your own online business, my best advice to you is to save as much as you can and be prepared to invest in a business idea you believe in. And that's one of the greatest strengths about being young and business-minded. If you're in your late teens or early 20s, you've got the ability to invest in your online business and give it a real crack. And if it doesn't work, you have enough time to start again. Once you get older and you have family, rent, dependents, and all the stuff that comes with getting older, it becomes a lot harder to go all in and invest in an idea, which is why you need to be willing to invest the time and money you have now when you're able to try something and make mistakes. While we're talking about money, another huge issue I see all the time is mismanaging money. And this is one of those things that millennials wanting to run a successful online business are going to have to learn on the fly if you want to be successful. So let's say you've got a good amount of savings, or you've secured a loan, or you've got an investor. That's the hard part done, right? From here, don't you just turn that money into more money? Well, wouldn't it be nice if it was that easy? The reality is, handling money, especially other people's money, is difficult. And as a millennial, it's something you've not likely had a lot of experience with. Just because you're running an online business and you're not paying for overheads like rent doesn't make it any easier to manage money. Running a successful online business is reliant on the ability to allocate money wisely. Obviously, this will depend on what type of online business you run. Service-based businesses are going to need to manage money differently from, say, e-commerce businesses. But the most important thing is to be smart with your money. Don't allocate it recklessly, and make sure you're learning as much as possible about managing your finances. I always recommend a few easy tips to avoid mismanaging money, like writing a budget and reviewing it frequently, speaking to a bookkeeper, accountant, or financial advisor, and making sure that your financial asset management is in line with the plan of growth that you outlined in your business plan. Speaking of business plans, one issue I see all the time in millennials trying to run businesses is having no clear goals or direction. And you're probably thinking, Jimmy, that's dumb. The goal of any business is to make money. Now, you're not wrong, but there's more to it than that. You need to have goals and you need to have milestones. I see so many young people invigorated by videos and content online. They've got all this spark that they're going to make a killing, but that's where the planning ends. If you're starting or currently running an online business, you've got to have milestones you want to hit. It's the only way to make sure that your business is successful. Sit down with a financial advisor and figure out how much money you're going to need to make in the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next year, the next 5 years to make this online business viable. Revisit your budget and business plan to see what you're doing right, see what you're doing wrong, and whether you're on track to hit your targets or what you can do if you veer off course. And when I say goals, I literally mean what you can achieve with your online business. For some, it's to pay off their student debt. For others, they're looking for a business to sell in a few years. While some people want to build businesses that will generate passive income to help secure their desired way of life. No matter what the end result you're trying to achieve is, you need to know what your goals are for the business and how you're going to get there. If you don't have clear goals, you'll invest time and money into a business without knowing why you're doing it, other than just going through the motions. And before you know it, you'll wash out with less money and passion than you started with. Trust me, I've seen it happen. So there you have it, guys. Some of the most common reasons millennials fail at building successful online businesses. I really want to emphasize this. If you're young and interested in starting an online business, don't let this video get you scared. In fact, I've got some great resources here on the channel to give you a fighting chance as the next generation of business owners. If you're looking for the next video, you need to check out this video here. It's probably one of the most valuable videos for you guys, and it's on how to quit your job and start your own business. It's got some great advice on when to quit, what to expect, and splitting your time between your old job and your new business. Ultimately, the world of being a business owner can be scary and it can be tough, but trust me when I say it's worth it. Thanks for watching and good luck.